Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream where Vidit Gujrathi takes on Nodirbek Abdusattorov and the game has begun. First game actually went in the favor of Nodirbek, and right now second game Vidit is in a must win. He plays his knight. Sorry, I was a bit late. I started off, I thought it was starting at 12:30. I had missed it that in Europe now it's a 3 hour, 3.5 hour time difference, not a 4.5 hour. But let's forget all of that. We have this game that is going on, and Vidit must win this. He goes d6. Knight to c3 by Nodirbek. He brings out his knight. This is known as the English, symmetrical English. And what does Vidit do next? Does he go e5? No, he goes e6. He plays his pawn up to e6. There is a gambit line with d4, but he goes e3. And now he plays d4. Vidit simply castles. Beating Nodirbek Abdusattorov is very, very difficult. The boy just beat Anish Giri, I believe, a few hours ago at the Champions Chess Tour. He's extremely strong. His heartbeat is at 109. Vidit is at 96. b3 played. Vidit can bring his bishop to b7 now. Just put his bishop there on the long diagonal. And Vidit taking his time. Yes, he plays it. He's down to 2 minutes 23 seconds. Bishop b2 played by Nodirbek. If Vidit wins this game, we will go into the Armageddon after this. So there we have the chessboard as well. Nodirbek. And they all have been given this jacket to wear, which has their name inscribed on it. Let me go this side. A better place to sit. Knight to f5 played by Vidit Gujrathi, and he's putting pressure on the d4 pawn. If you look at it, there are 3 attackers. So maybe there is a threat of cd, ed, knight takes d4. So he plays knight to e2. Here Vidit has a small tika on his forehead. It's a small dot that he has created. And let me see the chat, guys. How are you doing? Can you hear me well? I haven't seen the chat yet. Hello, hello, guys. And so he plays queen to d2. Sanket Joshi, the tournament is for 5 days. 3rd to 8th April, if I'm not mistaken. 6 days, I think. So rook d8 played. And Nodirbek pushes his pawn to d5. And then after e takes d5, he takes on g7. He's taken the bishop on g7. So Vidit is now thinking about how to respond to it. He plays his knight to e5. Okay. The position looks around even. Oh, is the knight kind of trapped? No, it has to go back to h6. White looks like having a good position because he takes now and he must take. Oh, he takes with the pawn, because if he had taken with the queen, there was f4 perhaps coming in. So he takes with the pawn. Now the d pawn is a passer. But with it, if he can get his knight to d6, that would be great. So f6 followed by knight f7, knight d6 might be a plan here. But it's clear that white looks more comfortable here in this position. Braille Jebra says, Sagar, don't you think there should be heartbeat quota instead of time, meaning your heartbeat do not run out more than 2000 beats? Oh, what a great concept, that the number of times your heart beats, that is reduced from a quota. Very interesting, Braille Jebra. Okay, so knight comes to d3. And now one idea is knight f7, knight d6. And Vidit pushes his pawn to b. He plays his pawn to a5. And now the knight comes to f7. But Nodirbek is opening up the position. He goes f4. Look at Nodirbek's focus there. Unbelievable. Bishop a6. What a nice move by Vidit. Because his threat is to take on d3, queen d3, knight d6. Then he will play with a good knight versus, well, the bishop, his opponent's bishop is pretty good. But still, taking on d3 might be a very good idea. I think Nodirbek will avoid. No, he plays rook d1. I think Vidit will take it. He should take the knight. You can see Vidit there, completely focused. Even if he loses today, he's not out of the tournament, because then he will go into the losers bracket. This is a double elimination one. Aditya Yadav, thank you for sending the pictures. I will check and we will post it later. So thank you so much. He was in Berlin and he sent us some pictures. Rook a7, bishop e6. Interesting, because if Vidit takes bishop d3, he might take Vidit's knight. Bishop takes f7, and look at Vidit's time. He's down to 26 seconds. Nodirbek has 1 minute 19 seconds. Nodirbek super strong. What did he do? He took on d3, queen d3, and now knight d6. Just put the knight on d6 square. But the bishop on e6 is very strong. You know, he goes to h6. What is the knight going to do on h6? Not so sure. Takes, and rook f1. Oof. Rook f8 needs to be played now. But if you play rook f8, the d pawn will no longer be stopped. He goes queen to d6. Queen c3. Keeping an eye on the e5 pawn. Rook comes to e7. Some tactical ideas. If the rook moves from f1, then you can take on e6 and the d1 rook would be hanging. Oh, that's a piece blunder. Rook takes e6. Rook takes e6, d takes e6, queen takes d3. Maybe he had it all worked out, yeah? I don't know. Was there some opportunity? Or I was just hallucinating? Guys, help me. King takes f7, check. This seems like an easy, at least an easy draw. Nodirbek just needs a draw. King to g2 played. He goes queen d2, queen f2. I think Vidit. The unfortunate part for Vidit is that draw is not enough. Otherwise, he would have been okay here. But he needs to win this and it won't be easy. Queen a6 attacks b6 and c8. Whoa. And now if queen c7, there is d6. I think the pawn push to d6 might be strong. Yeah, he plays it. Queen d7, queen takes b6, and Nodirbek might be winning this. Queen b8, you can't take on d6 because there is queen f8 check. So he goes back, and now at least a draw with queen b6. So Vidit in big trouble here. Rook c3, queen g4. Vidit trying to mix up things, but Nodirbek is not going to be falling for it. But look at Vidit's idea now. Rook f8 played. Queen f3 check coming in. Perhaps. Queen e2 check also in the air. He goes queen e3 back. Queen to d1. There's a check threat on f1. He goes rook c7. King comes to g8. Is there some hope for Vidit Gujrathi here? 11 seconds, comes back rook c1. Vidit takes the pawn. But now Nodirbek is like, I'm a pawn up. This is just in my hand. And by the way, guys, we did miss game number 1. So that was lost by Vidit. So he's in a must win here. Nodirbek takes another pawn. Queen to d5. And there we have the queen trade, and Vidit Gujrathi is 2 pawns down, and I believe he's going to lose this. And Nodirbek scores 2-0 victory after beating Anish Giri at Champions Chess Tour. Now he is beating Vidit Gujrathi as well here. So phenomenal play by the youngster. So good. He's so good. He's just amazing. Ah, nice move. Rook e8. If you take on a5, there's b7, b8. So here, check now on a8 seems to do the trick. Yeah, rook a8, rook a7, rook c7. I use king here. And welcome everyone in the chat. Please do like the stream. We have Vidit Gujrathi playing against Nodirbek Abdusattorov in a tournament called Armageddon, which has 2 blitz games of 5 minutes plus 2-second increment. Sorry, it's 3 minutes plus 2-second increment. And in case of 1-1 tie, we have an Armageddon of 5 minutes plus 4-second increment. There you have it. The game has ended. Nodirbek Abdusattorov beats Vidit Gujrathi 2-0, and that was a big victory for Nodirbek, who moves to the next round. And next up we'll have Gukesh playing against Yangyi. That's a big game that will be coming up, and stay tuned for that. It will start very soon. Let's go back to the commentary team of Jan Gustafsson and Jovanka Huska and see what they have to say about the game.
By the 18-year-old, you know, how smoothly he handled the second game, just all the time, just bullying Vidit with the option of a draw, you know, but resourceful when he needs to be. Wonderful stuff, impressive.
Also, the clock management seemed very good. He was always a bit ahead on the clock, while Vidit in the end was living on seconds. Nodirbek always had the option to think.
And take a look at this stat, Jan. You know, Vidit's highest heart rate was 138, and calories burned. I don't like this stat.
Just a great workout. 23 calories burned.
Whereas Nodirbek had a highest heart rate of 120.
That's my resting heart rate.
Very nice stuff from our players. Wonderful game, wonderful performance from the 18-year-old. And here are some of the key moments. Here is when things started to turn in Abdusattorov's favor. You know, he won one pawn.
And he offers the move repetition that's so cruel. Vidit would love to go back with the rook and repeat moves, but he can't do it because he loses with the draw.
And we're going to see another moment, and here we see Nodirbek keeping control.
I'm not sure. Here it felt like he was losing the threat a little bit. He went after the pawn, but now after rook f8, all of a sudden Vidit had some threats. But Nodirbek managed to regain his composure so quickly with the queen back and then the rook back covering everything.
And there we can see just retreats with the queen, and he's going to give a check, drive the black king back, and then here comes the star move, you know, drop the rook back. Unbelievable.
And let's hear from Vidit.
Vidit, a tough first match against Nodirbek. Can you tell us a little bit about the two games, please?
In the first game, I was better, right until the middle game, but I saw the clock and I was like 50 seconds down, which is not a good thing. And he could take advantage of that. So that was a miss from me. And in the second game with Black, I tried to play for a win, but I don't think I had real chances. He played very controlled game.
Tell us a little bit about the format. How was it to be playing here in this playing hall, you know, kind of a different environment?
The playing hall is excellent. Everything is on point. Actually, there was a gimmick actually which happened because we started the game before it was live, so we already played like 7 moves, so this was like the third game which we played in a way.
Was that not too distracting? How did you guys react?
We were just laughing it off. I mean, these things happen, so we were just laughing it off.
And finally, let me ask you, this is the second event of this series. Did you see anything of the first? Did you follow that?
Yeah, I followed some games, not all of them, but the main thing which I liked was that it was very easy to follow, just like 1 hour, and you are hooked all the time. So I think the format is made to make it very spectator friendly.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Vidit, and good luck for the next one. And for now, back to the studio with Yangyi and Jan.
Hello and welcome back. And we are in the studio. Thank you for Yana first, by the way. And we are in the studio alongside Nodirbek Abdusattorov, who convincingly breezed past Vidit, Gujrathi there. I mean, you made it look easy, Nodirbek.
Yeah, I controlled the clock situation very well, I think, overall, and I think this was one of the important things that I achieved.
Okay.
In the first game, you gave both your bishops for his knights. Is that strategy because you think in blitz knights are more tricky, or was it just a position?
That was not intentional. I just took his knight because the knight was going to c4, and that was very annoying. And yeah, I just quickly took it. Yeah, in the opening, I think I got a comfortable position, but I played rook a8, which was, I think, is a mistake because my initial plan was to push d5, but d5 was never working.
And then the second game, did he have you worried when you already took these pawns, when he went queen to g4 and then rook to f8? Did you get scared for a second?
Yeah, at some moment I got scared because I saw queen e3, but I just blundered after queen d1 that his idea is queen f1 and rook f2 is coming, so rook c1 is pretty much
just
the only...
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you feeling, actually?
Well, I feel very good. It's very good to start with a pretty smooth, I think, victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you want to know your heart rate? Your highest heart rate was 120. Did you feel calm?
Okay, that's not bad, I think.
Yeah. Your lowest was around about 85, which is a very good heart rate.
Okay.
And were you preparing yourself for Armageddon, or have you made any specific preparations?
No, I just played some blitz. Even yesterday, after a technical meeting, I played a couple of blitz games against Daniil Dubov. So I think it was very useful.
Yeah. And in your next match, you'll be facing either the winner of between Yangyi
And Gukesh.
and Gukesh. Who would you prefer to play?
Well, I'm playing against Gukesh in pretty much every tournament, so I won't be surprised if I face him again. But yeah, we'll see. Yangyi is also a very strong player, so I think it will be a very interesting match.
Okay.
You got 2 days off in Berlin. What are you planning to do? Any sightseeing?
Yeah, I hadn't a chance to see the Brandenburg Gate, so I will for sure will go.
It's like 500 meters that way. You can mash. Thank you so much, Nodirbek, Abdusattorov, and best of luck for the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The FIDE Online Arena hosts rated tournaments and games 24 hours per day. So join the arena and you'll get a FIDE ID, profile on FIDE.com, and access to pro chess community, as well as official online ratings and titles recognized by International Chess Federation, prize money tournaments, and much more. So play official games at chessarena.com.
And let's get back to the Armageddon action. The second qualifier for Asia and Oceania has another match today, and that's a pretty big matchup as well.
Yeah, I know. It's between Yangyi and Gukesh. You know, they're from two huge chess countries, and they are both number 2 in their respective countries. And here we have the very experienced Yangyi, who has a high blitz rating of 2783. In fact, he's top 10 in the world there. He became a grandmaster at 14 years old, as well as being an Asian continental champion in 2014. And once again, he was the under 10 world champion.
And a chess Olympiad gold winner. Let's have a look at some Yangyi.
大家好，我是来自中国的于洋一，我今年28岁。我当时学国际象棋的原因也是因为我觉得棋子和肘法对于我来说是很新颖，我也挺好奇的，所以说坚持到了现在。所以说我的生活也是下国际象棋，国际象棋也是我的生活中很重要的一部分。在现在，国际象棋的布局对于我们这些职业选手中间是一个很大的困难。因为我们大家借助了电脑，所以说经常国际象棋会下得很无聊，所以我也希望能在一些有限的空间里面找到一些有趣的招法，来下出更有趣的国际象棋。
Seems like a very calm, confident young man, but his opponent, even younger.
It is younger. I mean, check him out. He will be up against Gukesh.
Yeah, the 16-year-old, one of the big prodigies that we have in today's game, already playing in super tournaments, became a grandmaster at 14. Really left a mark on the chess world when he won his first 8 games at the Chennai Olympiad 2022, the gold winner on the first board, 3rd youngest grandmaster in the history of chess. Now here he's also good at table tennis.
Yeah, and let's hear more from Gukesh himself.
I'm Gukesh, I'm 16 years old from India. I've been playing chess for 9 years. My world ranking currently is 90 and I'm India number 2. My style of play is mostly universal, but I excel in attacking positions and calculation has always been my main strength. And the proudest moment of my career so far is after my 8th round win against Fabiano Caruana in the Olympiad, which was quite a historical moment. My hobbies apart from chess are mainly sports. I enjoy all kinds of sports, but I enjoy playing badminton and watching tennis. My private life is basically chess.
And we are moments away from the second match beginning. 50 seconds, and there we see Gukesh playing with the black pieces. And is Yangyi at the table?
I don't know, he might be covered up there by the crew member, or maybe he hasn't showed up yet, but Gukesh is ready to play with the black pieces. Gukesh, if he has one weakness in his game, it's maybe his openings. He will have to think how to deal with the onslaught of Yangyi with the white pieces who will try to attack him here. Gukesh so sharp, so resourceful.
He is.
I'm very curious how this is going to go.
I am also looking forward to this matchup. And on the subject of Gukesh, you mentioned that his openings were weak.
Weak.
In fact, well, that's a strong word. But he's actually started training with computers only very recently. And Kate, the timer is off. They see the handshake. And there you go. Yangyi opening with the queen's pawn and
there we have Bishop G2, Gukesh playing with the black pieces, going for the King's Indian with D5. And now actually we are into the Grunfeld territory. C3 played. This is a move that Vladimir Kramnik had played, and Gukesh also playing C6. A4, A5, it's all symmetrical until this point. Maybe Gukesh would like to break the symmetry now by playing, yes, he plays his bishop to F5. H3 and maybe now H6. Gukesh's time is 2 minutes 53 seconds. Yangyi is also at 2 minutes 53 seconds. Is my sound okay, guys? Can you hear me well? Okay, maybe now it's pretty okay. He plays his bishop to e4 and he's ready to give up his bishop there. But what if his opponent goes g5? I think Gukesh is okay to move his knight. Yangyi just takes the bishop. He says, thank you so much for giving me the bishop pair. And Gukesh is going to take it with his knight. Bishop to f4. Currently, Yangyi's heart rate is at 0. It's not working. Gukesh is at 97. Very solid. What do you think, guys? How is going to how is Gukesh going to deal here? You know, Yu Yangyi is a very strong player, but these young generation talents are so good at blitz and bullet. Although when Gukesh came to Mumbai, he was almost going to lose against Samay. But that was just a fun game. Okay, c4 played. Can we take the pawn? If we take the pawn, the knight on e4 is a bit shaky. So Gukesh says, I'm not taking the pawn. He actually goes queen to b4, putting pressure on c4 and also on b2. You know, some years ago, like maybe 1 year ago, I would say Yu Yangyi was perhaps a clear favorite in this matchup. But now Gukesh has become so strong, and I think the match is very even. Gukesh takes the pawn on c4. He says, thank you so much for the pawn. Yu Yangyi captures it back and Gukesh takes back with the pawn. And how are you going to now continue? I think you have to play knight e5, or no, he goes rook c1. Gukesh saves the pawn with knight b6. So the c4 pawn is defended. And he goes bishop f1, attacking the pawn on c4. Now Gukesh cannot go knight d6 because the bishop controls it, but he goes knight d5. What a nice move, attacking the bishop. I think this was missed by Yu Yangyi because the f4 bishop is hanging. If you move the f4 bishop, then Gukesh will go c3. Amazing. This is the sharpness that we see in the games of Gukesh. And what just happened there? Is that some sort of an internet glitch? What has happened? Gukesh had a tough day today. He lost against David Anton. Okay. I have a feeling that... Okay, we are back. No, I think there's some issue with Yu Yangyi. I think no, there's some issue with the stream. With the stream. So it's not an issue from our end, but it's an issue from the organizers. The stream has stopped. No, I think it's an issue from their end also. World Chess has just mentioned looking into this, guys. So they are looking into it. Magnus lost to Artemiev. Wow. Amazing. Hikaru defends the position down 3 pawns, says Soumya. Unbelievable. Hikaru is such an amazing defender. Gayatri says Magnus lost. Yeah, exactly. Magnus Carlsen lost today to Artemiev. That's a big result. And but what is wrong with this broadcast? Okay, we'll wait. But I really like Gukesh's last move. There go. The knight is attacking the bishop. Okay, so if you take the pawn on c4, like here, if you go and take the pawn with your bishop, then the knight takes the bishop on f4 and ef4, and then the d4 pawn is isolated. So the most logical thing to do is to bring your bishop back to h2. But once you bring your bishop back to h2, I will push my pawn to c3. Pawn takes, and then I can take knight e takes c3. I think it's back, but it's back in a very half. There's only half board we can see. Okay, king f6, h6. It seems like Gukesh's position. Let's try to analyze just Gukesh's board. Gukesh's position with king, knight on b7, rook on c8, rook on a8 looks interesting. Oh, he's brought his king up to e5. Arjun won 2.5, 1.5 against Ronak, king pawn. Correct. He will play Abdusattorov tomorrow. Wow. Prag won 3-0 against Le Tuan Min. Correct. Apex says looks like fork chess. आदित्य यादव से सागर में वेन्यू पे जाके वीडियो कॉल कर दूं क्या? Aditya, maybe yes, you will have to help us with that perhaps. Now what? We can't even understand what's happening. Vidit lost Tagya. Jai Kishan, thank you for telling about Hikaru's game that he swindled his opponent. We'll have a look at it. Who will Prag play next? I think Prag is playing the Champions Chess Tour. I don't know who is his opponent. I'll try to see if we can stream Champions Chess Tour as well. That so many of our Indian youngsters playing there. Nihal is not playing, right, in Champions Chess Tour? Oh, is Gukesh going to lose this? Let's see. Rook takes. Guys, this is an issue from the end of the organizers, so they are fixing it and it will be fixed soon, and then we can follow these games. King Pawn says Hikaru completely lost against Fedosiev, but Fedosiev gave the check, which was the blunder, and got the king square stalemated. Obviously, you can't flag Hikaru in drawn position. I don't even know what the game is. Maybe Gukesh won? What happened? Gukesh won, I think. From the very little thing I could see, I realized that maybe Gukesh won, but actually it's very tricky to know if Gukesh won or not. Guys, if Gukesh wins this, then he might play Abdusattorov very soon. So that will be great fun to follow. I think I have the game now. Let me see if I can. Yes, Gukesh won it. Gukesh won it, guys. Gukesh won it. I can actually show you what happened. They are only showing it. Let's just see what has happened. He takes a. How did Gukesh win a piece? Let's see. King here. Oh, he blundered that way. He went knight d2. He blundered that. Let's have a look at. I mean, let's hope they fix it. But meanwhile, I think we can get a board here. Yeah, there we have the board. And then we can have a look at it. So I think Gukesh was better. d3, bishop d1, knight here, king e5. Okay, he played really well, but then I think Yangyi fought back and suddenly got a very good position. And now if someone's better, it's white. White takes. He gave a check. And this is a draw actually. But he goes king e4 and he blunders knight d2. Wow. So Gukesh manages to win there. Stops the pawn. So now this means that the score is 1-0 in the favor of Gukesh. And is the next game going to start? Okay, let's have a look. Guys, let's follow the game here. Now Yangyi in must win situation. So Gukesh with white opens with d4 and oh, he goes knight c3. It's his favorite opening. Let's have a look at it here on the board. Let's follow the game. So we have bishop e7, cd, ed, bishop f4, knight h5, bishop d2, c6, queen c2, knight f6, e3, bishop d6, bishop d3, knight d7, castles by Gukesh, castles by his opponent, and then h3 played by Gukesh here, h6 by Yangyi. Guys, all is well, all is well. Let's see if Gukesh manages to win this. He goes rook e1. Gukesh's heart rate is 104, 95 now. Rook e8, rook a d1. Rook e7 played by Yangyi. And now can we go e4? He goes rook to e2. This is sort of Queen's Gambit decline, but the bishop is on d2. Slightly passive. I think black has no real issues here. Yangyi plays his knight to f8. And maybe Gukesh can go bishop e1. But he goes e4 directly. Wow. Takes, knight takes, bishop takes, and bishop e6 played. This is not really a threat to win this pawn because b3 would trap the bishop. So Gukesh has to figure out, I think a very good idea is to play bishop c3 and d5 pawn push. Can he do that? Oh, he did play bishop c3 and Yangyi plays his bishop to c4 attacking the rook. Now Gukesh has to move his rook because it's attacked. He plays his rook back to e2. Came queen c7. You can't, can we push d5 here? Is that possible? cd, bishop d5. It seems possible. He can actually play it. Queen c7 and Gukesh thinking he has 2 minutes 18 seconds. Opponent has 1 minute 57 seconds. Vidit or Nodirbek, who won? Emery Tate. It was Nodirbek who won against Vidit 2-0. For now, Gukesh having a very long think and comes up with the move d5. He plays it. cd, this is exactly what we thought he would play, bishop d5. And if rook takes e1, we can take it back with our bishop here. Is that what Yangyi played? He takes, bishop takes has been played. So he takes on d5, queen c7, bishop c7, but this is exactly what Gukesh needed. Now he's very close to a draw, knight e6, and now rook d7, he goes g3, stopping the knight from coming to f4. Gukesh on the verge of winning this. King f8, let's see if he manages to keep his cool. He has 2 minutes left. He should manage to at least hold this to a draw and go to the next round. Knight e5. Yes, Jai Kishan, he has played knight to e5. Bishop to c7 and f4 is a good move. He gives knight d6 check, bishop takes d6, rook takes d6, king e7, and the rook comes back to d5. Gukesh under full control, not giving his opponent absolutely any chances, and which means that Yangyi is going to go into the losers bracket and play against Vidit Gujrathi, and Gukesh will go and face Nodirbek, Abdusattorov, king g2. Let's see if there are any twists left now. He goes rook to c4, h4 played by Gukesh. a6, and now Gukesh can simply go king f3. Look at Yangyi's heart rate, it's almost to 129. Brings his king up. b5, a3 played by Gukesh, very solid. He plays g6, bishop to b4 check. It seems like Gukesh is slowly going to play for a win here. His position is clearly preferable. This is happening in Berlin. Bishop c3. Okay, check again. Are we going to see a draw? For Gukesh, draw is enough. King e8, bishop c3, and now if king e7, it would be a draw. Plays his rook back to c6. Why is the tournament named as Armageddon? Because there are 2 blitz games, and if the score ends in 1-1, they play an Armageddon with 5 minutes plus 4-second increment, which can happen here if Gukesh loses, but his position doesn't seem like it, although his opponent has a knight, and knight is a very tricky creature when there's less time, and we have close to 500 people watching this. Guys, please do like the stream. We're going to cover this tournament every day at 11:30 p.m. So do tune in. We have Gukesh, Vidit, Karthikeyan, Murli also playing. We have Vladimir Kramnik, Nodirbek, Abdusattorov. So it's a brilliant tournament and will be great fun to follow. Check king f6. He goes check, king e6, rook e3, king d7. Position is around equal. 7 seconds only left for Yangyi, 52 for Vidit. For Gukesh. When is losers bracket? Losers bracket most likely will happen tomorrow or day after. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow or day after. Tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow. Tomorrow they will start most likely, but we'll see. Check. Yangyi is fighting on. He's like, I'm not going to give you a draw easily, but Gukesh is gaining on time, and he gives a check. King has to go to f6, check. Rook check. Oh my god, they are just repeating many times this position has reached. Oh, he's trading. He's trading. Bishop e5 played, I think. Is he going to play bishop e5 for 37 seconds for Gukesh? Yash Pratap Singh, was April Fool community post a joke or you guys really in trouble? Well, you'll get to know it by tomorrow, I think. King takes d3. Yeah, Vidit's road up ahead is going to be tough. He has to beat Yangyi. But for now, Gukesh is doing this quite well. King c6, king b4, knight c5, knight tricky. Already Gukesh lost, Yangyi lost a knight. Sorry, lost a piece to a knight fork. Knight b7. And now they are playing super fast. Bishop a7. I'm a bit scared for Gukesh here. Whom are you supporting in World Championship Pransho? I think a little bit. Oh, my slight favorite is Ding. Bishop e3, knight c4, bishop c1. Maybe king f4. Yeah, he goes up. He goes up. He's going into g5, king f6. King g5 played. King f7, king f4 back. Oh, knight g4. Almost going to lose on time. Attacking f2. Bishop d4. He defends the pawn. King f6. King e6. f3. Knight h2. Oh my god. Is the knight going to get trapped there? Bishop c3. Ooh, there was a win with king e3 there. He missed it. King d5. King g5. Knight f3. King g6. f4 takes. Knight takes king h5. And this is going to end in a draw now. But Gukesh must be careful about his time. Shouldn't blunder anything. Go, 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 Gukesh. Oh. c2, bishop f8. Well, full fight here by Yangyi, going all the way till the end. And Gukesh takes on a3, bishop takes, king c2 and king c1. This is a theoretically drawn position. In the end, it's going to end in a stalemate there. And there you have it. Gukesh has won. And with this, he has eliminated Yangyi. And he goes to the next round. He goes to round number 2. Woo! Gukesh wins and he will face Nodirbek Abdusattorov. And I think it'll happen day after tomorrow perhaps or later. And we have Vidit who will take on Yangyi. Let's go back to Jan Gustafsson and Jovanka for their thoughts on what happened.
fact that Gukesh just kept making those small comebacks because, you know, he was completely in control and then he messed up a bit. And Yangyi, with seconds on the clock, kept finding a way to fight back. But Gukesh was like, okay, that's cool, I'm okay, and manages to neutralize that kind of play. And there we see when things look completely in control for Gukesh, it looked like nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, this was the moment we were thinking about the rook sacrifice, taking this pawn on h4, but white doesn't have to accept it. He could have kept his rook, attacked another pawn. Probably wouldn't have done much. It looks like maybe for Gukesh playing chess is fun. Is that possible? That he doesn't think of it as stress. He has this low heart rate. He's, you know, keeping things under control.
Yeah, certainly looks like he's enjoying himself. The results have all gone his way. He looked completely calm, chill, and he's a teenager.
Must be nice, traveling the world, crushing chess tournaments, winning your first 8 games at the Olympiad, and winning his first match here against the super strong Yangyi.
And once again, you know, here we see some beautiful calculation from Gukesh. He finds a way just to control the position.
Just not allowing this knight out of its cage. No, he covers the pawn first.
Exactly, and there you go. The knight is forced to put itself on h2, and there's nothing that Yangyi can do. It's completely helpless.
We will switch to Fiona with Yangyi.
That's right.
Yangyi, unfortunately, you just lost the first match against Gukesh. Can you tell us a little bit about the games?
Yes, the first game, yeah, in middle game I play very slowly. I think, yeah, maybe I mistake sacrifice c4 pawn, no good. Yeah, maybe I play too easy. Maybe pawn take, yeah, maybe better. I don't know. Yeah, but in undergame, I think my precision is good, yeah, but I miss my bishop. Yes, okay. In two game, in under game, maybe I have a little chance, yeah, because in blitz, but my opponent difference maybe better. Yeah.
Let's talk about one question about the format. How did you like playing in this playing hall? You know, how do you like being in Berlin and playing here? How is it?
Yes, this is my two-time to Berlin. Yes, because last year in Grand Prix in same playing hall. I hope I next match play better.
Well, we wish you the best of luck for the next match, and for now, back to the studio with Jovanka and Jan.
Thank you, Fiona, and it is our pleasure to have in the studio with us 16-year-old Gukesh. Wow, Gukesh, what a roller coaster match.
Yeah, it was the first game. It was out of the opening, I was clearly better.
Yeah.
Clean pawn up, but then I missed some tricks and it got messy. But yeah, and after that I found this knight f3. I mean, I was only thinking about knight b3, but then luckily I found knight f3 was an option, and of course he blundered king e4 knight d2. But anyways, the position was probably clearly better for me.
Right.
So,
but
yeah.
But were you surprised that he kept finding resources? Because he was playing with 7 seconds on the clock, and we thought you were in full control, but then he found a way.
Yeah. And in the second game, yeah, I had full control throughout the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the sending the bishop versus knight, it should be only white can press, but okay, I was just playing it solid, but I played it a bit too solid, and then he got his king active, and I couldn't find the entry squares, and I was a bit worried, but I don't think it can be lost at any point.
No.
Yeah.
How do you approach it when you win the first game with black? Do you know it draws enough and you alter your openings, or do you say, I'll just play what I always play and then take it from there?
Actually, I was I prepared some other line for the white game, but thought this is a very logical thing to do. This is my usual repertoire, and I just thought, okay, I can't really get into any trouble in the opening here. So it can get very, very tricky when you're playing for a draw with white pieces. But
Tell me about it.
but yeah, I just tried to play a normal game, and of course.
And take a look at the brackets. So you'll be playing Nodirbek Abdusattorov in the next match. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, of course, he's a very strong player, and we've had a lot of interesting games and matches. Of course, it'll be a very exciting and great match.
And how will you prepare? You've got 2 days in Berlin.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go for a walk. It's a really nice place. So.
Those are some ambitious plans. It's cold though, but yeah, thank you so much, Gukesh. Impressive match and best of luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
And one of the official partners of the Armageddon Championship Series is IT.com, a domain registry like no other. It provides a platform for anyone to create innovative domains and effectively showcase their online presence. Don't miss this opportunity. Visit IT.com today and create your unique online image.
And we're back. That was quite a day. These prodigies crushing their opponents, facing each other now. This will be a big matchup in the winner's bracket, no?
Yeah,
Abdusattorov
definitely.
against Gukesh. But before that, we have the other quarterfinals tomorrow. What we have?
Look at that. Take a look. We have Kartikeyan Murali against Param Magsudlu, as well as, this one is going to be very exciting, Daniel Dubov against Vladimir Kramnik. I mean, wow. There is going to be action on every single match. I imagine everything will be hotly contested.
Guys, Dubov versus Kramnik
there
would
will
be
be
so
an
much
Armageddon.
Yeah, Dubov Kramnik Armageddon would be so much fun. Rapid world champion versus former world champion. It's gonna be a fun day. What time do we start?
Same time, same place. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Tomorrow will be great fun. Kramnik and Dubov playing, and also Kartikeyan against Magsudlu would be amazing. So I'll see you all tomorrow. And stay tuned guys. Thank you all. Gukesh versus Abdusattorov will happen day after tomorrow. No, it will happen on, I think, 6th. And on 5th, we'll have Vidit versus Yangyi. So a lot of action coming your way. Thank you all. I hope you all are doing well. And see you all tomorrow. Bye.